What we'll do now, we'll create a new rule, and we're going to get into a very fun operator generator called ParticleDraw. ParticleDraw is a quick and fast way to create particles out in the view. It has quite a few different little methods of doing this. We've got the top view here. If you don't have any, well, let's see. If you use the one particle method, it's going to use whatever the active axis is. In the perspective view, it's going to be the XY axis. If we were to switch to the front view, we could draw in the XZ axis. So that's kind of how the one particle draw method works. You can also use a radial method, which is going to create a volume circle for us to use. Let's actually make that a little smaller. But you'll see that when we we'll go ahead and remove all those previous particles. Let's change that radius. When we click, of course, we're only giving birth to one particle somewhere inside that sphere. We might want to bore in a few more particles, so let's go ahead and bore in 121 at a time. So per click, it's going to create a whole cluster of particles. And you can see here in this view what it's doing. Go ahead and increase that radius, increase the number, and we'll just bore in some more in there. And you can see real quick, it's a fast way to create a very large volume of particles. And if you want to specifically create a particle somewhere, you can use that one particle method to bore in him exactly where you click. Something I just used a minute ago was the remove function. This is going to remove all particles. But before we do that, let's talk about this information we see here. This is telling us at frame 0, where we were, frame 0, it has a count of 5,055 particles are being created. What happens then is, we'll go ahead and scrub to update that. If you select the ParticleDraw, it will show the markers of where they're going to be born. That's especially apparent if we select none. Now you see our ParticleDraw, he's set to draw all groups, or all group particles here. Up here, the all is white. But right now, our master dynamic is set to none, so none are being displayed until we select ParticleDraw. That's what those red markers are. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the ticks out there. Let's go back to dots. Okay, so we select ParticleDraw, and we will remove all those particles. We're going to go ahead and create another object out here. We'll create a plane. And what we're going to do is illustrate another method of ParticleDraw called, let me get that out of there, called Max Painter. Max Painter, what happens is, once we click Draw Particle, we need to pick a node to draw on out here. We're going to go ahead and pick that sphere. And now you can see we get kind of a painter interface. We can hold Control and Shift and drag to adjust the diameter. And then some other parameters that we should look at are the count. So this is going to define how many particles kind of per second or pressure. If we reduce that to 1, it's going to born much fewer particles. You can't really see that too well. Let's go ahead and draw on the plane. We'll crank this up. We'll go 10. So you can see real quickly we created quite a few particles. And if we reduce that to 1, the rate of creation is going to be a lot less. ParticleDraw also has some other basic features like assigning the lifespan to those particles. But there's something else really fun it can do. Let's go ahead and remove all those particles. Actually, we'll remove all the particles on this frame 0, which was all of them. We'll scrub, we'll get rid of that redraw there. The feature we want to take a look at is going to be this expand to time range. We're going to go ahead and say draw particles. We're on the Max Painter method. We'll click that plane to draw on it, and we'll go ahead and start creating a whole stream out here. And then what we'll do is we'll turn off draw particle, and we'll say start time. Let's start at frame 10 and let's go till frame 70. I want you to expand all the particles on this frame to come into existence over this time range. Now the reason that we're seeing these in yellow again is because we have ParticleDraw selected. We'll click off of that, off the ParticleDraw, and those markers go away. What those tell us is that that is where particles are going to be born. Okay, so as we scrub, nothing happens until frame 10, and then those particles are going to start to be born kind of in the same along the same path that we created them up until frame 70. Actually, it looks like it's a little beyond. Oh, there was a time offset. It's actually how long length. That's not the end frame. It's how long should it take to get out there. Okay, so now we have all these different particles all over the place. It's telling us at frame 10 we've got a count of 1, frame 10 count of 1. This is a result of using the expanded time range. If we want to remove all these particles here, we're going to use the remove all function, and that's going to wipe out everything. We still see some white ones out there. That's just a residual redraw. Okay, so that's ParticleDraw. Let's go ahead and get rid of him.